Hi everybody, how's it going? It's Jackson. Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for the 27th of October. As always, timecodes in the description, so skip ahead, you know how it is. There's a maintenance on tonight in about 20 minutes, so I got to rush, unfortunately. Sorry about that. I had no idea it was on, so... Alright, so Dwarven Automata, Library Furnishings, and Stealable items. I would say these are the best options, but this one here is a bit dependent on what DLCs you own, what the best course of action here is. Consumables Master Writ, you need to be level 50 in one of the three consumable Writ crafting fields, so alchemy, provisioning, or enchanting. If you got one of those, this one might be pretty good, but probably a bit expensive. And then capturing a resource in Cyrodiil is the last one you choose if you can't do some of these in particular. Alright, just starting off with library furnishings, probably one of the easiest in the game. What you want to do is come to this location here if you don't have a house yet. Talk to this NPC in Oridon, in Vocal Guard, with this way shrine that you start with. You just travel here whenever you're ready. And then where this house is located, you speak to this NPC. You start a quest, and in order to finish it, you just keep talking to her. You get a bit of gold, and a free house will show up here. The one you get depends on your alliance. It'll be one of three. To access the houses in this game, you go to the map tab, into houses here, and the house you get will show up here. So it'll either be this one, or this one of these three. Alright, so once you've done that, now you need your furnishing. So you can get the How to Scribe furnishing item in your collections. If you go to this NPC here, start the second area of scribing quest, complete that. It takes about 5 minutes. It's very quick, very easy to do. This is one of the locations you can start it. This is in Deshan, with Mournhold, the Wayshrine. You can get Flame next to Skare through home tours. Use that to travel here. You can do the same thing in Grantwood through Snugpod or in Stormhaven with Gardener House. Just there's a video I'll have in the description that explains home tours, how it works, how to use it to teleport around. You can go to these major guilds here, and this NPC will be here. So that's how you start that quest. So once you've done it, you'll have this item. This is a library furnishing, and so one you can just use from your collection. So it's not even in your inventory. You don't have to worry about that. So once you got that quest done, just immediately travel to your house. So in this case, I'll just go to Autumn's Gate. The good thing about the library furnishings endeavor is you can just do this whenever you're ready. You can travel straight here from anywhere outside Cyrodiil or Imperial City. It's kind of why I don't like the resources one as much today, because you can't just travel straight out of Cyrodiil. You can, but it's a bit more of a pain. Well, not too much really, but yeah. Okay, so when you find your item, you just go, how to find your item. You just go to Housing Editor, Browse, and then you just go to Gallery. Library here. How to Scribe will be right here, and you just place it on the ground, and that'll work. Now you can't just left-click spam it. You have to put it away, and then go back into your inventory and put it down. Now another way to do it quicker is, instead of picking it up, putting it away, doing it that way, you can undo and redo. So on the bottom left, you can see the Z key. It says undo. Just hit that, hit redo, undo, redo, undo, redo, and that just works over and over for doing it very quickly. Alright, Dwarven Automata. So normally, one of my suggestions is Inner Sea Armature. I wouldn't really recommend it right now because of the invasion event. Some of the enemies in here are actually replaced by Daedra, so it's not as good as an option for Dwarven Automata. You can still use it though. It's really easy to reach because Stubborn-Swatch's Wayshrine is available by default. Another good option today instead is just Lower Bethaniel. This is probably where most people are going to be though. So I don't really like using this one myself. What I like to use is either Mathanas or a dungeon. So Mathanas is in the sort of southeast side of Eastmarch, Craglorn. There is Mathanas. You've also got Kunzelft over here, and you've also got Ardark over here. These have Dwarven Automata in them. The only issue is they're very tough, but that's kind of why I like this, because so few people tend to come in here and kill any of these ones here, and there are big groups of them here. So for example, if I just pull this group here, it pulls everything. So there's a huge group of them here that you can just grab and kill. And yeah, that's it. And if you want, you can just leave this guy alive, but make all the rest of them respawn. Might just be worth killing them. So yeah, there's more down that way, more down that way. After that, I think that's the rest is like human NPCs. I can't remember though. But yeah, if you don't want to use that instead, let me show you one other option. Now, with the, I know it is still an invasion area, but the Razek's Wheel Public Dungeon in Bankrai, that one there, there are still some Dwarven Automata in there in the later stages. You can kill them too for the Endeavor. And that area, you can kill the mini-bosses, or the public dungeon bosses there, for your event tickets today. So you can get both of those done if you want to go there. And it's got this house right here, Twin Arches, really easy to reach using home tours again. So yeah, it's really good. And Kragon, same thing. You've got this house over here. You've got these houses over here to find some of these delves really easily. So yeah, those are good options too. Let me just show you the dungeon option too, which might be useful. So both Darkshade Caverns 1 and 2 are things you can use, but you need to be... Well, Darkshade Caverns 1's pretty easy, because it just takes a bit longer, that's all. But yeah, Darkshade Caverns 2, if you've got a good build, you can run through here and just ignore the enemies. So if I just skip these guys, they're very tough, but yeah, you can just skip past them and not fight. If you've got a Nightblade with Cloak or just anything with the Shadow skill line for Nightblades, you can use that too, because you avoid attacking all the enemies or aggroing them. So when you get into this room here, there'll be some Dwarven enemies. So the spheres over here, the spiders. Just before anything happens, just make sure you damage them, because after a while, this boss here will spawn, and what it'll do is it'll kill all the enemies in the immediate vicinity. And as long as you participated in, or like did a bit of damage to them, oh god damn it, yeah, it's fucking annoying. Yeah, as long as you damage them in some way, that should count for the Endeavor as well. Yeah, that's what I recommend for this one. Yeah, instead for Darkshade Caverns 1, what you do is you kill the first main boss. It'll be the Foreman, I think his name's Lothus. And then the door to the next area will open, and that's when the Dwarven Automata start spawning. There's you have to go further, like you have to go past the second like mini boss. Yeah, don't fight anything else except for like a couple of the Dwarven Automata. You can just run past everything, like around everything, and avoid them. So yeah, aside from like the next boss, I think you can't avoid. Yeah, you'll find a bunch of Dwarven Automata after that for both areas, but yeah, for Darkshade 2, it's quicker just because you have that initial area around the first main boss. Alright, now let's look at looting stealable items of blue quality or better. I'll start with the best option. I did start with the base game option last time. So there's 3. One is related to Thieves Guild. You don't need the DLC, but you need to have access to certain area related to a pay-gated zone. What I'm talking about is Hughesbane. If you've traveled to a bar's landing, you'll unlock something called Kara's Hit List. And if you have that, one of the items will spawn in Glenumbra, in the Daggerfall Castle, which I think is the best option, because it's really easy to get without getting a bounty. So let me show you. If not, this is a good base game area as well, but the base game option will be slower, just most likely because of just RNG in this game. But I'll show you a couple of options for that. So over here, if you go to the storage chest, you'll get a bounty if you access it while you're stealth. So just be very careful. Just make sure this thing goes away. It's a bit weird and bugged, but yeah. Like sometimes it'll just keep going. Yeah, whatever. You get the point. So yeah, the item in here is it's an inflatable rug. Don't worry about that. But if you collect it, it counts. But then you might be thinking, oh, what do I do now? You just go to your inventory and just destroy it. And now it'll put the item back, and you can just loot the item again and complete the Endeavor. That's probably the quickest way to do this Endeavor in the game. So yeah, Glenumbra, Daggerfall, over here. And even if you get spotted by a guard, like this person over here, and you lose all your items, it doesn't matter, because it still counts the Endeavor. So even if you have to loot it in the middle of, like, in front of people, it's fine. Okay, the other option, in the castle itself, there's a bunch of furniture. And when you open up this furniture, sometimes you can get some blue quality items. It's quite rare, as I said, so you'll probably have to do this a bunch of times. You can reset everything in here though, so I'll just go through everything I know of that's in this area. Yeah, 10 minutes, I've got to be quick. Okay, so trunk here. So that design there, sometimes that can be blue. That's one of your options. You can also get blue items that just sell straight to a fence for 250 gold. So yeah, there's the trunk there. Check that. Yeah, there's the two... sorry, there's the one wardrobe over here. Nothing really downstairs worth going through. This dresser is good. I don't think this cupboard's... Oh, there might be something in that cupboard, rarely. Yeah, an item maybe there, maybe from the nightstand over here. So you can just look at the items out of stealth. You won't get a bounty, as long as you don't take them. If you take them, just make sure you're stealth. So that recipe there could have been blue. Nightstand, trunk, dresser, nightstand, dresser. Yeah, so all this stuff here. There is also a safe box here you can loot. Just make sure this guy's out of the room and not walking in here when you start it. That might have some blue items in it. Sometimes, not always, so. And now once you've cleared everything there, what I would recommend you do is go back to the way shrine. So I'll just go down here. You might not survive that if you don't have any fall damage reduction. But yeah, you can just hop down here to the way shrine, and now we're headed to Oridon. Either that, or you can just go to the Outlaws Refuge here, and then, because that resets everything, and then you can go back up to the castle and check again. And you can do the same thing in Oridon. So we go there. Just go to the bank in Volkagard, and literally do the same thing. Just check all the backpacks, all the furniture, and just see if you can get any blue items. Go in here. Let's check the trunk. Cabinet. Nope, don't talk to him. Check that, check that. That. Backpack. Oh, sorry, dressers. Backpacks. Nope. Let's come out here. There's a dresser or cabinet over here, a cabinet over there. Let's check these. And then when you get into this room here, there's four furniture items you can check. And there's nobody in here to stop you stealing stuff. So you can just take that without getting a bounty. Because there's only like cats in here and they can't spot you. So yeah, those 4 things there. And again, you just go to the way shrine, travel to Glanumbra, because that'll reset this when you come back. Or you can just go to the Outlaws Refuge over here, come back, and just reset the process, or redo the process. And everything you get, if you want to get rid of it, you just sell it at the fence in the Outlaws Refuges. There's one more option which will go through very quickly as well. It's in Necrom. You need the DLC for Necrom, for the Telvanni Peninsula, to get access to this. But it's called the Necrom Underways. I assume people are familiar with this one. It's really good though. Head to the northern side, up to this area over here, this doorway. Head in here, into the Necrom Underways. Once you get in here, there'll be urns all over the place, and there's nobody in here to stop you taking this stuff here. So you can just go through everything. And usually you can find a blue item or 2 from recipes and motifs in here. Yeah, there you go. So there's one. Perfect. So yeah, what you can do to speed this area up, you can do this in the other areas, but you have to be very careful, because if you get spotted while you're using this, you get a bounty very quickly. Yeah, you can just use this to mass loot a bunch of items like quickly, but just saves you having to go into the inventory to grab it. Just be mindful of your inventory, because it will fill up very quickly if you do this, because like every stolen item basically has its own inventory space, unless there's like specific items that you get. Yeah, that's one way to do it. And again, the Outlaws Refuge in the Necrom Underways is like in that hallway, so you can just go straight in there and reset everything. So it's really good for that as well. Yeah, it's a really good option. Alright, so next up we've got the Consumables Master Writ. So you must be level 50 in these 3 skill lines in order to be able to do this, because you need to be able to craft the max level items. So if you don't have max level stuff, don't even look at this. It's expensive to buy these, and it's some of the resources required to do them are quite expensive too, but it's very quick, especially if you can just go to Deshaun and do everything, because the crafting stations you need are right here, and the exchange giver Rollis is right here. So everything can be done very quickly in this little area here. So either get here from Flaminix Selexcare, or you can use the Boatswains. You can use a bunch of things. You can do this in Grutwood or Stormhaven, but because of the location of the crafting areas and how far away the person is, the shine's better, I think. Because all the crafting stations are right here, and he's just outside the archway there. So, in my opinion, the best option is enchanting, if you have it, because you don't need any recipes like you do for provisioning, and the resources used for enchanting Master Writs are usually much cheaper. Usually. There's a couple of specifics, like if you get prismatic Master Writs, don't do those, because those require Heikeijo, which are fucking expensive. Most stuff, though, is fine. Most stuff you can do pretty well. For provisioning, if you do have the recipes, provisioning is probably the best, because all the resources except for one specific thing is really cheap. The only specific to that circumstance is anything that requires perfect row. If you look up a Master Writ from a guild hall or guild store, or one in your inventory, and it says you need so some enchanting writs over here that I'll probably use. But yeah, if it says like Orsoga Smoked Bear Haunch, for example, just look that up, because it will tell you that the recipe requires perfect row. Any of the ones that require you to make to use perfect row, don't do those either, because perfect row is fucking expensive as well. Unless you've already got it and you want to use it for those Writ vouchers. But yeah, would not recommend that in the slightest. So yeah, once you complete your Master Writ, you just come over here, hand it into Rollis Talalu over here, and then if you want, you can use your vouchers for some good stuff. Some of the most important stuff, I think, are these storage chests here first, before anything else, because these are basically banks you can put in your house that you can store stuff. Really fucking helpful. Like, for example, I have one dedicated to like my level 1 training gear, and then one with all like the level 10 to 50 stuff, and yeah, just so on and so forth. Or you can put like certain sets that you've collected over time, or that you want to collect, and just not have in your inventory taking up annoying inventory space while you do other stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of choice there. Okay, last option is resources. So resources are these little things here located around keeps. Now, normally, I feel like this would be a problem, because the maintenance is about to kick in. Like, it's 2 minutes away. So I wouldn't be able to do that. Luckily, I have a pre-recording of a resource. So I'm going to show you that instead. Okay, so this is the flag you got to take. So these gods here, you kill them, and then you can just sit on the top of the flag and it'll slowly get taken. However, what I do not suggest you do is just jump straight in and fight these guys, especially if you're not too well versed in like fighting stuff in Cyrodiil, because you're fighting basically everything here if you just sit straight on the flag and start fighting it. There's actually a mage guard up here, you can't see them. They will be pelting shit at you while you're on this flag, and they are probably the hardest hitting enemy here, aside from maybe the 2 honor guards here. So what you can do instead, what I recommend, is you divide and conquer. So you ignore these guys, just head straight into the tower, go up to the 2nd floor where the mage guard is, kill them first, and then focus on everything else. I'll do it that a little slightly differently. What I'll do instead is I go to just before where the mage guard is, I kill the guard over here who follows me up, and then I kill the mage guard. But yeah, basically the same thing. You're dividing the enemies in 2, because the guards on the tower, on the flag, they don't move. They stay here the whole time. These guys here will follow you up, and these guys here will follow you over here. So what you're doing is you're just stopping these guys from fighting you before you kill these guys here. So you're just dealing with half the shit. Because believe me, these honor guards especially, they're fucking brutal. Like, these guys are actually really tough. And considering that your healing in PvP is halved, it has a pretty significant effect on how well you survive around here. So you got to be quite switched on to even just to stay alive with these honor guards here. They're fucking tough. All right, so I'm just gonna play it now. So I'm just heading straight up the stairs here. Just going to heal myself a bit. I'm just going to wait here for that sword and shield guard to come up. I'm going to kill them separately. This is what I mean. Divide and conquer. So do everything separately. So the healer's there too. I can kill them too if I want, but I'm just going to go straight to this mage guard. This is the one you want to kill first. And what I would also advise you do is just don't step too close to the edge, either just in case you fall off, or the healers at the bottom will attack you. These healers will also apply negates, which is really irritating. That's why you want to focus the healers first above all else, especially when you get down to the flag. So when you get down here, the first thing you should do is kill the 2 healers. Don't worry about the honor guards at all. Interrupt the healers to stop them from healing each other. That's kind of your first priority. And just constantly be ready to heal, because yeah, you'll be taking a lot of damage. Now, if you're able to bring someone with you, it's great, because it'll make it a lot easier. But yeah, just focus the healers first, and then the honor guards, and then everything else. So if you have multiple people on the flag, it goes down quicker. So this is easier with a team. But yeah, you don't always have that luxury. So now is probably the most anxious part for me, just watching to make sure no players rock up. Because, yeah, players, if they kill you here, you have to respawn and you have to start the whole thing again, basically. It's a bloody pain in the ass if that happens. Now, this character is Old Merry Dominion, and you can see the keep that I've chosen is actually Old Merry Dominion. This is a better option if you can find one. Find a keep with an enemy that has taken one of the resources at your keep, because it means you can travel to your keep. So it means if you die, you can respawn, and when you travel to the resource, it doesn't take as long to get there. So there's a lot of good things about taking a resource next to one of your keep, as opposed to the enemy ones. Try to avoid taking ones at the enemy ones, because yeah, like I said, it's usually takes longer, more risk. For the same reward, you know. So, all right, so that's all there is to it. So, any questions? Give me a holler as always. But thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. Sorry for rushing it a bit today, but yeah, I got home a bit late and not really much I could do there. So, all right, take care, everyone. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.